Yes. Well, I see Netherlands, of course, very nice country. I see Maryland, USA. I see UK, India. I see Egypt, UK, Canada, Mumbai, India, Kuala Lumpur. We have an international gathering here tonight. Scotland, very nice. Delhi, India. Do we have people from Australia as well? Belgium. Very nice. Okay, so Darren, I'm waiting for you. No, he's still not here. Okay, so guys, welcome to this webinar. It's a great day because we are going to introduce the IPX DeFi to you guys and tell a little bit more about how it's all going to play out. Of course, EurekaSwap is about to be released, and Darren is going to tell you more about that. I see Darren is in, so I'm gonna make him a co-host right now. Yes. So let's see where he is. Darren, you there? Darren is still busy now. Okay. Darren, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Unmute, yeah. Well, Darren is unmuted. Darren, you're unmuted, but I cannot hear you. Now I can.
Right, you can hear me now. Good.
Yeah,
can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you and hear you.
You can see me. You can hear me. Unlucky you. I can't think of much worse. All right.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. I had a few connection issues with getting onto it. I'm using a different laptop, and it did not want to work for the life of it.
Okay.
But yeah, hello everybody to everybody that's watching. Mark, I'm sure that you've done an introduction and covered me while I've been adrift.
Yeah, short one.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so I just mentioned that we're going to introduce IPX DeFi. Yeah, the Eureka Swap website, and tell a little bit more about the different opportunities that people have to make use of it. So
Mark, your connection, mate, you're sounding a bit like a robot.
I sound like a robot.
Yeah, it's going out in like this.
Oh, really? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Just a comment. It can, guys, you comment if you're having an issue with Mark as well, or if it is just me.
let's say I sound good.
Mark sound is fine. Okay, it's all kind of. It's just me. Okay. Okay, guys, can you hear me? Okay. Both sound okay. All right. So it just appears it doesn't want me to hear. It just, yeah. It appears it just doesn't want me to hear what you're saying.
Your sound is not good, Darren. So
My sound is not good.
no, I hear you.
Both sound okay.
You're breaking up. Yeah.
I'm breaking. All right. I will be back in 2 seconds. Mark, you carry on. I'm just going to stop my video. You carry on, Mark, and I'm going to go and plug myself into an ADSL.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, what are we going to do tonight? We're going to have a look at the EurekaSwap website. We're going to talk about talk a little bit more about the upcoming IPX DeFi parts that we are going to develop or are already in development, like the cloud-based hard drive. So everybody can have a look at what we're going to do. Darren is going to be doing the most of the explanations, because for me, to be honest, it's also quite new. Of course, Darren has been doing the development of the DeFi, especially right now the Eureka Swap, and he knows all the ins and outs of it. Yeah, I hope he can fix his connection very soon so we can hear what he has to say and what it's all about, of course. And yeah, I'll be making notes and doing webinars more often, every week. So if that's needed, we can do webinars every week, and then we will explain everything about the DeFi and show you some strategies how to make a passive income with IPX DeFi and all the different parts that that are linked to it. In the meantime, I hear a lot of noise coming from Darren. I hope he's okay. Yeah. How are you doing, Darren?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Give me 2 seconds. I'll be with you. Okay. Just a bit of reshuffling. Right. I'm here. You can hear better now.
Yeah, it's a little bit better, but are you on?
Okay, right. I can see myself anyway. I can hear myself. So again, I can't think of much worse.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So we are going to go through. I heard what you were saying, Mark. We're going to go through. And we're going to answer these questions as well. Yeah, we're going to go through. We're going to cover obviously the IPX DeFi project, what it is, what it entails. Going to obviously go through a little bit about Eureka Swap, which is basically ready to go, and then we're going to get rid of my son because he apparently has to be very noisy playing Fortnite, I'm imagining. Right. Yeah, we're going to go through. We're going to play. We're going to go through a bit about Eureka Swap. This is Eureka Swap Lite. Obviously, the full version 2, will be called the full Eureka Swap. that version will have the decentralized wallet. At the minute, we don't have the, at the minute, development for the wallet is still ongoing. I've been getting quite a few questions about this. I want to obviously deal with them as well. So with regards to the wallet, originally the idea was to do the web wallet. A large part of the coding for the web wallet is then actually used to deploy, to actually build the Chrome extension, of which forms the basics, let's say, of the MetaMask. However, because of the time it actually takes in creating the web wallet, it doesn't really give us that many extra functions, to be honest. We already have the core wallet, for example. So because of that, we decided that we were going to do it in a slightly different way, which is to go straight ahead with the MetaMask wallet. However, while we do have resources working on that, while that is still being pushed ahead, while that is still a major key part of our development, in the meantime, we still wanted to be able to get rollouts going. We wanted to be able to get projects started in a semi-decentralized way, let's say, in the sense that everything is decentralized in the smart contracts, of course, the farming, the liquidity pools, the mailpot, the actual trades, the AMM trading, or everything is all automated through smart contracts. The only part this way that is actually semi-DeFi, let's say, or is not fully decentralized is the fact that you log in with login details. Okay, when you deposit and it goes into smart contracts still, but you physically send it as opposed to just connecting your web. Other than that, all trades are actually done on the blockchain, etc., etc., etc. To be fair, for lots and lots of people, like the sheer amount of people that I've spoken to that have had absolutely no idea really about DeFi, no idea kind of what it is, where it starts, what to do with regards to it. I think it would actually be a good introduction for them, because it will be sort of what they're more used to in terms of the major things, the registering, logging in, deposits, withdrawals, etc., etc. That will all be as they are used to while learning the core functions. Okay, so obviously the liquidity pool is a major part of it. The way that liquidity works, Danny put in a fantastic video into the Telegram group that actually goes through and shows how liquidity pool trading A, helps the price, but B, how it actually works. It was a fantastic explanation that really broke down those different parts. I'm just having a look at some of these comments coming through. They all say sounds clear. So okay, good.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, so yeah, with regards to the liquidity pools, what basically happens with the liquidity pool is, let's say one of the major pairs, let's say BTC and USDT. So what we've done is we've actually built a bridge. The bridge that we've done is a temporary measure, and obviously it will be replaced later by the full wrap machine. But for now, we had the perfect tool anyway in place to be able to use to do that, which is yeah, obviously you read correct. I can see myself cracking up a little bit there. Right, with EurekaX, it allows us to have our wrapped versions of other tokens from other blockchains on it. So for example, BTC, we BTCX. Okay, this is transferable at any given time. So you come across, let's say you wanted to put in one BTC, you put in one BTC, you receive one BTCX, you can then take that across to the liquidity pool, or do whatever you want with it within the ecosystem, really. And then from there, from there you have it, whatever the value of BTC is, it still equates to that. I've just seen a message come in that if I can answer, I will. Hello, with all due respect, I am a member of IPX and speak on behalf of many people in my team. Our question is simple. How do we get a passive income again without participating in the DeFi project? I think it's a great project, but it is not where we start in IPX passive. Mark, I'll let you answer. Obviously, I could answer in several ways for how you can earn passively in the DeFi.
Yeah.
I'm technically by.
Now you're breaking up, Darren. Can everybody hear me? Hello? Oh, yes. Okay, so what IPX DeFi is all about is about bringing value to IPX, of course, and to the whole ecosystem. So before we can tell you what strategies there are to make a passive income again, we have to explain how it all works. Oh, I see Darren was kicked out. So yeah, we will come to that, Yolanda, or how you can get a passive income again. And participating in the DeFi project, it's not really like that. It's like also swapping a coin or a token. It's not participating. I mean, that is just as you do on EurekaX, where you change your IPX for USDT, for example. You can also do that on a DeFi site, only that's decentralized and not centralized like on a exchange. That is the difference. And you don't have to participate in IPX DeFi. It just means that we created more means to get the value to IPX and for you guys to change IPX to another coin if you want. Where were we? EurekaSwap?
EurekaSwap, specifically, we were talking about the liquidity pools, AMM, automated market maker. Right, so yeah, the way the automated market maker works is you have, first of all, a liquidity provider. So one of the main questions that people ask is how can we earn from this platform? Okay, so I was discussing about like BTCX, so which is wrapped versions. Okay, so that's like BTC wrapped onto the Eureka blockchain. You can take, let's say that you wanted to add liquidity to the BTC USDT pair or BTCX USDTX pair. What you would do, let's say you wanted to do $1,000 altogether, you would take $500 of BTCX, you would take $500 of USDTX. You would put them in to the liquidity pool. What that then allows the AMM to do, when somebody comes along and they want to do a trade, it means the liquidity is there. Push, boom, 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 constant. Now the price is given via the AMM, and the way that the AMM works out what that price is based on what is in the liquidity pool. So really, as much as it is based on what's in the liquidity pool, what you then have is that creates arbitrage. Automatically, it creates arbitrage opportunities, which is a way to earn in itself, actually. But that arbitrage naturally means that the price always sort of dictates what it does on the market anyway. So as you've got people coming in and out, obviously they're paying the trade fee. So with the liquidity pool, you go in, you put your $500 of USDT, your $500 of BTC. When you put that in, you get charged 6% on entry. Now that you might think, oh, I don't particularly want to get charged 6% on entry, but this is actually a very big benefit. It is a very big learning, very big earning opportunity from that, because now you've gone into the liquidity pool, you get your LPs, okay, which is, it's basically a representation of what you've put into the liquidity pool. They then get 0.15 of the trade fee. Okay, so trade fee is 0.25. 0.15 of all of the trades go across and go into the as a reward for everybody in the liquidity pool. On top of that, the 6% that we said, that's broken down, and we'll talk about the other two aspects of that in a minute as well. But the first aspect is that out of that 6%, 3% of that actually comes given everybody already in the pool, based on how much of the pool you got. So that gives you a and then you've got so then it gives you that constant top up from that as well. Now, as more and more people start joining the liquidity pool, more and more people, obviously that builds up and builds up and builds up. So it is a reward for being in the liquidity pool as well. Now, we're going to get into burning and the whole mechanisms and everything like that. I'm trying to be very careful in the way that I'm trying to explain this, guys, okay? Because I'm trying to not get too technical, and I'm trying to make sure that you get to sleep at some point tonight as well, which, if I go on too much, isn't going to happen, because if I start going into little nitty-gritty details too much, then, as I said about my video, I did actually try to make a video explaining everything. I did get just under 5 hours. I gave up. Not to say I'm not going back to that, but that's how I got the date. So you got your liquidity pools. We just explained how they work, the reward for being in there as well. On top of that, you have the bank. Okay, so the bank is 2% all of that liquidity charge in and out of the liquidity pools. That's all going across to the bank as the reward there as well. Then you've got the melting pot. Okay, the melting pot it's something very, very new in DeFi. There are one or two of them already done. However, from what I've seen, we've got a 60-40 split. The ones we've seen actually had considerably more than that and go into the burn, which is good, but it doesn't necessarily give such a good return either, I guess. So 60-40 split is what we felt to be the best. So what you put in, 60% of what you put in is burn. The remaining 40% is shared among everybody else in there. On top of that, 1% of that liquidity pool fund as well goes into there as well. Obviously, the rewards in that one are in ERK. In the bank, you stake IPX. Okay, so you can earn passively from your IPX. You stake your IPX to earn ERK. Okay, in doing that, that means that 2% that's coming from the liquidity pools, it means that the 2% that's coming from the liquidity pool, that can be taken in all different types of fees. That's being used by ERK from the market, that is then being sent out to the IPX holders that are staking in the bank. Now, if you're holding IPX, guys, there's absolutely no reason economically to not put it in the bank. Okay, you might as well put it in the bank, because you're going to earn passively for doing so. Okay, the bigger the website gets, the more trades there are, the more volume there is, the more profit there is. And we've seen we've seen these swap sites obviously grow very, very quickly. And I think in terms of economic model, I think EurekaSwap most definitely has one of, if not possibly the strongest model out there. So yeah, the liquidity pools. Okay, so the liquidity pools, so the 3% entry and exit in the liquidity pools, the 0.15% of all of the trade fees. all of that is used to buy IPX. So remember, every time IPX is burned, every time IPX is bought on the exchange, that means that there's a seller, there's the taxation fee. Every time there is the taxation fee, IPX is burned out of circulation. So we have IPX being burnt out of circulation every single time that there is a trade. Somebody enters the liquidity pool, somebody exits the liquidity pool, every single time for everything. Now, even remember the ones that I said about ERK, so that's the bank where they're buying ERK. Yeah, even the ones, like I said, for ERK, they are still conducting a trade, okay, and they're all automated trades. So every time one of those trades happening, that is actually benefiting IPX as well, because it means that there's been a trade, which means the fee, which means that that is more IPX being bought for that as well. Of course, going back to the liquidity providers. Now, one of our biggest concerns in doing that was at first, before we narrowed down and created the plan, our biggest concern, to be honest, was liquidity. Okay, IPX needs to have strong liquidity in order for people to want to have it as a reward. That's a given. You know, we understand that, we appreciate that. So that's why we have that mechanism built in, so that there is that constant constant buying process of IPX that creates that constant demand. Yeah, and without going into too much details, remember with the burning structure for IPX, what happens is, let's say there's a trade of $1,000 of BTC, $100 would be the charge of the taxation. The $100 is actually used to buy ERK, burns ERK. That ERK then is used to buy, so the $100 fee is then used to buy ERK. Because it is buying, it is not selling, it receives $100 of ERK. That same $100 of ERK then is used to buy IPX. Okay, so it creates a very, very strong market between the two as well. Lots and lots of liquidity bouncing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The $100 is then used to buy IPX.
This is all being done automatically, right? Through a smart contract.
Yeah, everything is 100% automatic in this sense.
Okay.
The $100 is then used to buy IPX. Okay, so we've just done a $100 trade of Eureka, which has obviously accumulated another $10 fee. Bear in mind, we're only in the fees anyway. And we're now doing a trade of IPX. Okay, the IPX one initiates a seller so that it goes back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it just and the amount keeps dropping, but then you've got another trade going and another trade going. So technically it is constantly burning. So as the supply is decreasing and decreasing and decreasing, the more trades, the more in and out of the liquidity pool, the more of any action means more demand, more demand, more demand, more liquidity, more liquidity, more liquidity. Now, EurekaSwap is the first. We have said about the motions of other blockchains as well. So we are also going to be deploying across to Poly blockchain or Matic, where we will have a fully decentralized version of this as well. It will work in basically the same way. We do have connections inside of Poly as well. One of our main blockchain developers actually has worked in Poly, so has managed to open their doors for us. But even disregarding that for a minute, Poly is another blockchain that's on a similar kind of scale to us. They're on a similar kind of mission to us. We're very like-minded in that sense. As we're pushing also for Poly, what I would say is that there's not actually many swap sites on there at all. So in terms of getting there in front of the competition, it's a very good opportunity. The main thing is though, we've got front end, we've got the smart contract. Literally the only things that need to be done is the integration. So it makes sense to do it. Obviously everything runs through the blockchain, runs through the nodes, etc., etc. So as we've already done, you know, 60–70% of the hard part of the work in actually building all the smart contracts and everything for it, we may as well use them. For the wrapped versions on the other one, they will be burning wrapped versions of ERK, wrapped versions of IPX, and then the real versions of them will be burned in line with those burnings as well. So basically what I'm trying to get over is that everything is about burning. Okay, everything is about liquidity. Everything is about you being able to buy in, sell in, move in and out of it basically at a much faster pace. At the same time, what that liquidity does, that liquidity, remember, every single trade equates to ERK and IPX being burnt out of circulation. So it is a very, very strong economical model in that sense. For the melt pot, obviously that's again for ERK's side. Obviously, remember guys as well, ERK is going to obviously be backing IPX as well, and it's our intention as well as to actually be using that ERK to buy IPX too. We're happy with that being public knowledge. So for us, so obviously ERK benefiting as well is obviously a positive to IPX too. We are greedy like we want to eat up the market. So although I do have a funny feeling that IPX is I do have a funny feeling that IPX might be quite hard to keep up with, to be honest. Right, cloud storage is something else obviously that's coming along, and we'll touch on that in a minute. So far we have covered MetaMask, and the fact that we're going directly in for the main one. We've covered EurekaSwap, the main functions of it and how it helps and how that sort of burning mechanism works. Guys, if you haven't already, do watch the video that Danny put in the group. It is absolutely fantastic to actually explain to you how these atomic swap sites work, and how the AMA works as well. So then on top of that, we are going to have another one on Poly. We probably will do them on other blockchains as well. We like I said, we have the smart contract, we have the coding. There's nothing to stop us. So through EurekaSwap though as well, one of the main benefits is that because of the ability of wrapping, we will actually be able to have thousands of assets on it. Now, normally it's quite hard to do that because you need a node for each blockchain. However, because they're going to be wrapped assets on the Eureka blockchain, you know, they're all running through the Eureka node. So they're all running through the Eureka smart contracts. They're all running through the same backend, so to speak. So yeah, it means that we're going to be able to have any token really that you can think of. We will have the ability to actually add it into there by creating the bridge for it as well. Mark, before I race on, have you got anything that you say or touch on that? And should we ask questions for a second, or based on EurekaSwap, so that we don't get too carried away?
Yeah, maybe I have a question. Maybe you can explain a little bit what a wrapped version is of a token or a coin.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so a wrapped version basically is it is a one-for-one version of, so say for Eureka is on its own blockchain. So a wrapped version means that it is a token on another blockchain. So let's say Poly for a second, a token on Poly blockchain of which represents one-for-one a Eureka coin or an IPX token. It can be done with anything. Obviously, it can be done vice versa as well. So yeah, it means that you can have the abilities of maybe strengths on other blockchains. For us, what we're really looking at from that perspective is that out of all of the blockchains, they all provide and solve different things. They all have their benefits. They all have their strengths. There's lots of very established projects, for example, on Ethereum. They've spent millions and millions and millions and millions, tens of millions, some of them even hundreds of millions, to build their presence of Ethereum. Do we think that they're going to just jump blockchain overnight? No, but what we do think is that they are open to actually expanding, open to having the benefits of other blockchains as well, even if they keep their main source where it currently is, but having that ability to be able to jump between the two as well. So yeah, in short, a wrapped version, or yeah, a wrapped version of a coin or a token is simply put a one-for-one straight swap that is worth the value of the initial asset.
Okay, all right, that's clear for me.
Does that help?
Maybe for some people it isn't. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat or ask to unmute. Then I will unmute you and you can ask a question. I don't know, Darren, if you were going to go into some strategies on how to make money with IPX DeFi, or how to create a passive income. Is that something that you are going to do next, or can we ask it now? I think Darren has a dog. Okay. I think somebody's at the door with Darren. So if you have any questions, please put them in the chat right now, and I will ask them to Darren, or maybe I can answer them for you. Raphael has a question. Okay, that's a good clarification. What is your strategy for promotion of EurekaSwap? As currently the community is not positive about IPX, so current customers would be interested. What is your strategy for attracting new members for your DeFi sites? Especially that project was delayed and a lot of changes to initial IPX passive. Okay. Darren, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm in the room. I'm not even sure what I was. It wasn't even the front door, but something rattled his cage. All right. I didn't hear my last question.
Yeah, my question was, what are the strategies for people to make passive income on IPX DeFi, on EurekaSwap, or all of the components? Or is it something that you are going to go into next after this?
No, I can do it if you like, or you, sure. Either way. But if you want me to do it from a technical perspective for what I was doing, I mean the three things obviously that I just said are the main ones. So if you hold IPX now, obviously the best way in order to earn passively is through is definitely with the IPX to hold the IPX in the bank, so that you're going to get all of those rewards. You get quite a big reward share really of the action based on that. The other major one is obviously the liquidity pool in itself. So you can put in BTC, USDT, or whatever pairs. You just pick whichever pair you want, and you can provide liquidity to that pair. And for doing that, you receive rewards from the trade fees. You receive rewards from the other people entering and exiting. And the reason for that fee as well is, yes, it is beneficial in the sense that it does keep people in. It removes an incentive for trying to get out so quickly. But the main thing is sharing that back as well. So as somebody is leaving the ecosystem, obviously we like to think obviously in considerable profit. As they are leaving the ecosystem, they are actually giving back to the people that are in the ecosystem that maybe even joined themselves. So it really is a win-win all round. So yeah, the major two ways that I would say in terms of earning, obviously there is the ERK melt pot as well, which will be good for ERK holders, but is staking IPX in the bank So your IPX is available to you at any time. You get rewards up until the point of you removing it out. There's no fee on entering or exiting the bank, so it's easy to do. The second is obviously the liquidity pools. The liquidity pools are definitely one of the very, very best ways of earning.
Okay. Thanks a lot. And what I hear a lot from people in IPX is if they want to sell their token right now, they have to go to Eureka X. Can they do this on IPX DeFi as well?
What, the IPX token? Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, it's a trading, really, guys. It's a trading exchange surrounding IPX. It's all about IPX. It's IPX it lives and breathes IPX quite literally. Yeah, the only advice that I could really give to that is don't sell your IPX. No. And certainly not in the short term, and certainly not at the prices that people are giving it away at right now. Yeah, it would be a crazy move to do so. Yes, to answer the question directly though, the opportunity is there, and there are several markets for IPX to be able to trade, but no, I certainly wouldn't suggest it to be a good idea right now.
No, because of all the buyback and burn that's happening through the smart contracts on IPX DeFi. Actually, a lot of a buyback is going to be done, which means that the price probably will go up, right?
The price will go up.
Yeah. Okay. I was saying it quite cautiously, but
even if the thing is obviously that we're trying to get over with regards to understanding for this as well. The supply is constantly decreasing. So as the supply is constantly decreasing, even if the demand was to remain exactly the same as it is today, the price would fundamentally still go up. So from here, that demand is only ever going to grow. Now we expect it to grow quite seriously and at a fast pace. But even with everything that we're doing, that demand will only be getting more and more and more. As the demand gets more, the supply gets less. The two of them we have set up in such a way that they are interlinked. Demand equals burning, which equals less supply, which therefore automatically solves the equation of supply versus demand. So with that in mind, yes, the price will obviously increase. From here on as well, the thing is that we're really just starting to get going with actually launching things with this project as well. So we've got the IPX, we've got EurekaSwap obviously ready to go. Then we'll have the one for Poly, for other blockchains. We do have something very exciting. Obviously, Mark, me and you were discussing it the other day as well, with regards to I would say a decentralized future, something that hasn't been done before as well. But I don't want to share too many details on that, like I said, publicly until we actually get the smart contracts and everything completed in place. We have already the cloud storage under development. So the cloud storage is a really big one to talk about. The cloud storage is something else, really, to be honest. The level of impact that cloud storage can have. If I go across to Amazon, for example, and I go and buy a server, I certainly don't get any benefits of what Amazon do over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I certainly do not. If Amazon grows, then that's good for Jeff Bezos, but it does nothing for me. With IPX, in order to actually get that server space, in order to actually get that memory, what you actually do is you go across, you buy it, you go across, you buy IPX, you hold IPX. So now everything that happens with IPX, all of the benefits of IPX, all of the extra demand that brings in for IPX is all benefiting you because you're holding that IPX too. And obviously, yes, there are rewards in place as well for those that are actually providing the storage too.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good.
You want to go to some questions?
For the cloud storage, with the swaps, I don't want to go.
You're breaking up, Darren. I didn't hear you. Hello? You still there?
Hello, mate. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes I can. Sometimes I can't. Yeah, we have some questions. From Raphael, what is your strategy for promotion of EurekaSwap?
Well, you know that. Obviously, Mark, we talk about that a lot anyway. But you know our strategy is through the actual other games that we're developing as well. That we're obviously bringing in. We have marketing that's making us. We'll cover that as well in this. Then we'll go through and we'll cover the games and bits and pieces like that and how they work. But basically, we have a marketing structure that pays us. This industry can eat away a hell of a lot of money without any return in terms of marketing, whereas we have a very, very unique system that will build us very big networks and it pays us. Those networks also act as a bridge to actually bring people into both the ERK and IPX as well.
Yeah, that's for example the pool bet. I don't know if you want to talk about that, but the pool bet is a project that will bring in a lot of users, and those users will also be stepping over to IPX and ERK, of course, and that is the main attraction point for the IPX DeFi system, because it's a free game, and yeah, a lot of people will want to use it. And we'll be happy to do so because there is a little effort and there's a lot of things to gain. So that will be one of the strategies.
Yeah, that's a major part of our marketing in general. That's a major part of our marketing campaign in general. Probably better if I do a different video on that at some point as well to actually go into that in depth, because that's a video of itself, trust me. When I was trying to explain that and how it works and how one actually pays for another and another and another and another and so forth, and even working on small margin, even working on small expectations, what that actually achieves overall.
Okay. Next question. What are the timelines of implementing the different solutions for compounding assets, and what are the backup plans for now?
Wait, hang on. Let me come to that one in a second. Marketing. Yeah. Also, obviously, for DeFi, there are a lot of atomic swap sites because of the farming and obviously the earning opportunity that comes with farming. There are a lot of comparison type sites and things like that where we will be listing up on as well. So it will get seen by a lot of relevant people, shall we say, directly relevant people. It will get seen by a lot of them through those options as well.
Okay, great. Did you hear the question I asked from Michael? What are the timelines of implementing the different solutions for compounding assets, and what are the backup plans for now? Timelines.
What is the solution for compounding assets?
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't quite.
I think he means a liquidity pool, maybe.
So yeah, in liquidity, you literally just put in the funds and everything is done for you.
Yeah, so that means that EurekaSwap will be released in a few days, right? That's the timeline.
I don't think it will be that long. But
oh, okay. All right, good to hear. And about the cloud storage, what do you think will be
this here says no, is talking about IPX passive. To my knowledge, there's no automatic compounding in there, and I don't know. I know obviously you've always shown you've always shown the interest that advertising, being the product, obviously is good for people to actually be visiting the site, not all what I call man.
Okay.
The question that you just asked me about the compound.
Yeah, different solutions for compounding assets. I don't really know what Michael means with that. Maybe you can explain a little bit, Michael. Ah, okay, about the compounding.
Yeah, I think it's asking about auto compounding, which
no.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, not that. Are you going to build play-to-earn games? Are you going to build some play-to-earn games NFT? Right, so we're already building. We're basically going to bring forward already launching Pool, which is play-to-earn. It's free to play, and so you earn free. Obviously, there's got a big referral structure to it as well, which is built with the intention of building a big network for it. So yeah, are you going to build them? Yes. For NFTs, what we might start doing at a later stage is building like in-game features, things like that. That would be the NFTs, and that's the best bits that would sit as the NFT markets as well.
Okay. If I search for IPX on Google, then I find Tachyon protocol. This coin has the same name. How is that possible? Well, that's possible because everybody can develop a coin and name a coin the way they want. So I remember when we came out with IPX around the same time, the Tachyon protocol came out with IPX as well. So what can you do? It was already out in the market, then you cannot change it anymore. So yeah, it happens with more coins actually. So yeah, I get the mix up, but it's nothing that we can help right now. Next question: how will the price of IPX rise a lot? Has been burned already and no price movement. How will the price of IPX rise a lot? Has been burned already. Well, there's not burned a lot right now, only burned from the actual trades in EurekaX. When we launch the IPX DeFi, the Eureka Swap, there will be a lot more burning going on because all of the different components that will be in IPX DeFi will burn IPX from the market, and then you will see a larger price movement as you have seen right now.
Yeah, it will. And the thing is that EurekaX is still going to be there. EurekaX is still doing its thing. EurekaSwap now is an addition. The Poly swap, that would be an addition. The next one is an addition. The cloud storage is an addition. The wallet is an addition. This is an addition. That is an addition. Eureka Lend is an addition. See, all of these things are all in addition. You know, the end kind of result targeting for IPX is to have, well, not in the end result, just sort of like a midterm result, is to have, you know, a good 20, 25, 30 different things that are all just additions. But all of them are doing their own thing, and all of them have the sole function of building liquidity, of which burns IPX. It's a simple structure, really, and that in itself will push the price up, and it will push the price up in a stable way. That doesn't mean it won't move fast, because obviously it can move fast, because if it's building that community faster and there's more trades, then that in itself is value, because the liquidity with this is value as well, let alone the fact obviously all of the technology is what is building that liquidity. That's the most important thing, is that the liquidity isn't just trading volume, so to speak. Liquidity is, a vast majority of this liquidity is actually coming from the technology. So a lot of this liquidity is actually automatically made as well. You know, one person does a trade, but then that actually goes and creates liquidity automatically through the smart contracts. This everything going with just like bam. And it's only small bits of or it's only small bits of IPX that's being burnt, but it's constant bam. So as that's going, it will burn off a lot of it as well. It's something that we actually haven't even touched on yet. It's really important. You can lend. So the work that's being done for IPX in regards to Eureka Lend is that all of the assets inside Eureka Lend, at the minute, it's got Eureka. Obviously, I think Eureka is the best thing since sliced bread, of course. But for loans, collateral, for borrowing, for lending, lots of people want to use USDT for borrowing and lending, funny enough, or maybe BTC or something else similar nature as collateral, something with a bit of stability maybe, or we'll see. So with this, that's going to be done as well. And we're very, very near to almost being at this point anyway, where you will be able to deposit BTCX. Remember, that's a direct equivalent of BTC, or USDTX. So if you wanted to lend, you can go and lend in USDTX. If you wanted to use BTC as collateral, you switch that over to BTCX and use it as collateral. You borrow USDT from the fund. Remember, with those wrapped versions, you will always be able to swap back instantly back into the real version, or the core block version, shall we say. So for BTC, for example, you would be able to swap BTC in EurekaX, and that the order will already be there. So yeah, across all of those functions. So it means that if you want to go across, somebody lends BTCX, so you want to use BTC as collateral, someone's putting USDTX into the pool anyway. Obviously for lending, you go across, you borrow that USDTX, you can go and swap that into USDT straight away. There'll already be an order in the exchange to do so, and then with that USDT, you can go and do whatever you want with it. Your loan is live, and from there, obviously, you just need to make the repayments as normal. And that interest. For IPX, this is another massive function as well. There's not really many that have the ability to offer collateral lending, borrowing from tokens or coins from all various different blockchains. Okay, we're talking thousands. Being able to offer that in one place from one blockchain automated smart contract. So in there, out of that, let's say for example that the fee is, I don't know, let's say 5% per month for easiness. Right, about 20% of that fee actually gets taken, or 8% of it goes to the lenders. That's fair enough, right? They're the ones that are actually putting in the USDT or whatever it be, because obviously you can lend anything. There's actually putting that in to be lent. The BTC is then being used to sorry, the BTC. They are the ones putting that in to be lent. The remaining 20%, so let's say about 1%, probably on average, based on the fees of DeFi. That remaining 1% is used to buy IPX off of the market, which creates a burn, and is then used, I think 50-50, if I remember rightly, Mark. I'm not quite sure on that basis, but I think it's 50% is dead and 50% is burn. So again, that is something else that's creating liquidity. Remember, that smart contract will be connected to the exchange as well, so that if it needs to liquidate somebody, it can liquidate like that. If it needs to, if it needs, and obviously the way that it works as well, this is how much it's going to cost. So in order to actually be able to liquidate into that, the smart contract knows at every given time exactly what there is and what's available, so it knows it can do it split second. With that availability, for it to be able to do that, makes it very, very, very secure in that sense as well. So yeah, that has the potential to build very, very big, very, very strong, with the ability of, like I said, thousands of tokens or coins. To actually, that 1% can be a significant amount of money. Obviously, we know that DeFi loans are becoming more and more popular. Short-term loans, mid-term loans, long-term loans, whatever. You know, there's a very, very big market for all of them, especially with the current economic climate. So yeah, it helps a lot in that sense. And yeah.
Okay.
I personally think something that will bring a lot more value as well.
Yeah, very clear. I have a question from Bodhi Kenny. When you say hold in the bank, do you mean Eureka X? No, this is holding in the bank. Then bank is a special component inside the EurekaSwap website where you can stake IPX. So it's called the bank. And that means that you're staking IPX and you will be getting rewards from all the the smart contracts going on the IPX DeFi site. Is that correct, Darren? Do you have anything to add, maybe?
No. All the rewards will be done through the bank. So
yeah.
what we will also be doing is rewards from obviously, as we discussed already, like, but from the lending, we can have rewards going there. From like cloud storage, we can have rewards going there. So that there's one place really to leave your IPX, and that's in the bank. Put your IPX in the bank, guys. If you ain't intending on selling it, put it in the bank. That's the best place for it. Even when you come across to what we're looking at doing with the cloud storage is having the cloud storage actually linked to the bank as well. So that even if your IPX is in the cloud storage, you would still be able to use it. You would still actually be able to use the data that you're receiving as well. So yeah, the possibilities were really horrendous. But yeah, if you're not going to sell it, put it in the bank. Might as well be earning passively at the same time.
Okay, question from Neil Keith. So there's no reason for me to stop compounding every week. Is that correct? That is correct. You can compound all the way. You can also choose to put it in the bank, of course, just like we discussed, where you can get passive rewards as well. So you have different strategies to build your passive income, actually. Okay. So is IPX going to leave ERK behind then? What do you think, Darren?
You can't ask me that. You can't ask me that. That's not fair. No. I think they're going to grow together. The reason that I say it, when IPX, if ERK grows, then that's good value for IPX, because obviously we've said there is a large holding of ERK that backs IPX. Equally, when IPX, any trade, any movement, anything with IPX results in IPX being burnt, but it also results in ERK being burnt. So really, I envision the two of them. That's why for us, we're quite, if I'm honest, speaking openly from an ERK perspective, we're happy to put so much focus on IPX because by building IPX, it gives the same economic incentive to ERK at the same time. You know, every time IPX is burnt, ERK is burnt. So it's a win-win all around. I don't think either of them are going to particularly leave each other behind, so to speak. I do think that, my personal feeling, I do think that IPX is literally being given away. I do think that there'll be some very, very sorry people later on with regards to that. But each to their own, and everybody's choice is their own, I guess. But yeah, I think that overall, I think that they will grow together. I think as soon as starts kicking in, the momentum is only going to build and build and build. The more money that gets locked into the DeFi lending, the more money that gets locked into the DeFi swaps, the more money that's, or the more crypto, sorry, that's locked into over them, the money that's goes into the new swaps, the more people using the data, from the cloud storage, the more people participating in the free play to earn games, obviously the referral side for all of them as well. Yeah, I don't know, IPX has so much that, you know, I can't even, you know, trying to explain it is hard, and it's constant evolution as well. Obviously our main goal is to stay ahead of the market too, and obviously IPX is a very, very big part of that. Mark knows of obviously things like what I was touching on before, of the ideas of like leverage trading, basically, but in a decentralized way. You know, sort of like a decentralized BitMEX, you know, but one that actually works in a correct mathematical way. Work for that has already started going into process. You know, for that, we just want to do the smart contract for the exact details, because we've learned, and that ain't done before, full stop. You know, the sheer amount of things that are going into it, it's not just one thing. It's like everything benefits each other. But now it's party time, if I'm honest. Now it's party time. Now it's time that everything starts coming together. From now, the rap machines are going to be coming out one after the other. The rap machines, you idiot, Darren. The swap sites are going to be coming out one after the other. The rap bridge inside Eureka is going to have more and more markets added to it, more and more pairs inside the swap sites as well. The cloud storage isn't a million miles off. The wallet coming through. You know, from now it's pick up pace time. The games are going to start being developed as soon. Well, the first one's obviously already near enough on its verge there. That's only going to get faster and faster and faster and faster as well. You know, with these developments all coming in, I want to explain it from a whole in a separate video. I'm going to do from a Polaris perspective as well, which is what I'm currently about 4.5 hours into. The whole business model as well as to, yeah, just everything. So yeah, from those games come in, obviously builds more capital, then more capital obviously pays for the next games. Those games are still monthly making money. More importantly, they're still bringing in lots and lots of new people. Those new people, they hold EK or they hold IPX. What do they do with it? They don't know. They have no idea what to do with it at this point. So what do? They go across, they learn, okay, so this is a wallet, so this is where I can come across and sell it. Where am I going to go? Where am I going to go and sell it? I'm going to go across to one of the swap sites. I'm going to go over there. Now they've joined the swap site. Now they're in the swap site. That marketing structure there is a marketing structure, like I said, that can bring hundreds of thousands, millions, because it's fully sustainable. It is a fully sustainable market growth. It's not spending $100,000 here, hoping to obviously get the. You spend $100,000 on marketing, you might bring in, I don't know, $100,000 to $150,000 of sales. Then you need to go out, and make. Bear in mind, they're not buying it from you either; they're buying it from the market. Then you go out, and then you need to get $400,000 in sales. You know, just to keep that price and hold that price moving forward. So, in a sustainability sense-wise, our goal is to have a completely sustainable ecosystem that will just constantly be growing. The speed at which it grows is dependent on everybody. It's dependent on us for the development. It's dependent on us as well for obviously getting it seen in the right places as well. It's also dependent on the community. You know, the more the community pushes it forward, the more the community get behind it, the more the community help and embrace and help and push that forward and put a positivity to it, the faster that it's going to grow. and it has that potential to really, IPX has the potential to become one of the biggest projects. I've not ever hidden from that, from my view of that. And I genuinely think that it has the ability to do so. I've not seen any other project that has swap sites, that has burning functions, that has its own actual lending, that has its own cloud storage, leverage, a leverage system. You know, and we're only talking about the original plans at this point, with the exception of the leverage. You know, we're already starting to look to the future as well. This is not we're going to do this and then that's it, hands off, that's it, we've done it. You know, we've done what we said we were going to do, that's it, that's sorted, boom. We're not in that position. We're in a position where we are growing and growing, and at the same time as growing and growing, we're able to do more developments. We're able to put more and more use cases. We're able to do more and more liquidity at the same time. So yeah, I think that that's what I'm trying to say is that I think it's going to be an avalanche, and I think that we're going to just start, and that it will just grow and grow and grow and grow from there. Remember, this is smart contract technology. Well, we can't change it. The only way we can actually change it is by creating a version 2. Version 1 is still there. It's still standing. It's still doing its own thing. Just version 1. Well, you can still use version if you want, but version 2 is always there. Obviously, if you use version 1, it's as simple as that. So yeah, it's there, and the abilities and the strength that gives. I'm super excited. I want to say personally, do that actually. I can see this question. So you guys had what are the timelines of implementing the different solutions for combat? Okay, I know that Mark's already answered that. Is there a way to replicate Betfair where people bet against each other at the moment? The fees are so high for traders who make a galloon, and the site is going down more and more just lately. Yes, it is. It's actually something that's going to be added to Poolbet. Okay, so the idea with Poolbet is that you'll be earning in the game, and then there will actually be an internal decentralized bookmaking in there as well. People will be betting directly against each other. Yes, it is, but it obviously in a fully decentralized way. What was I saying? Right. I want to say a massive thank you. Genuinely, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody that's been supportive over the last 3 months. Okay, it's been a hard time for us in trying to explain the vision without being able to show the vision, without being able to let it be hands-on. But it's a time that we've had to take to actually get that into place. Okay, to be in the place that we're in, where we're now able to start with these rollouts, where we are super excited, where we are able to come out and say it's going to be boom, boom, where we are saying burn, burn, burn. It's taken the time to obviously get the developments first and foremost. It's taken time for the planning stage. It's taken time to make sure that we do have the most competitive, that it is the shiniest, to make sure that the liquidity pools pay the most. Okay, because our liquidity pool, basically, like the economics of our liquidity pool will pay more than personally I think probably any other liquidity pool in existence. The bank is mega competitive too, obviously, as well as the melt pot. The time, the revision that it takes to actually going in and making that and finding and doing all of that research, then coming through the development phase and putting it forward, it has been a slog for us. So yeah, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that supported during that time. Of course, like every company as well, we also have our haters. Okay, guys, I want to say a massive thank you to you as well. You are a massive inspiration. You drive us forward every day to prove you wrong. You know, you do. You give us that drive to go ahead and get the job done well. So as much as you may not expect me to come out and you, trust me, we are thankful for that too. You give us that drive, you give us that grit and determination. And as much sometimes you may feel like banging your head off the wall, equally it gives that get up and go that to get everything done. So, but that was not a request for more of it. All right. Okay. Is there a way? I've done that one. What will the swap fee be at EurekaSwap? The swap fee will be 0.25%. Mark, did you just ask that question?
Yeah, the swap fee will be 0.25%. And maybe you can add something here about the buyback and burn, Darren.
Yeah, what do you mean in terms of the buyback and burn?
Yeah, with the 6%. That's for the liquidity pools, right? And the swap fee will be 0.25%.
Yeah, the taxation fee is obviously the 10%. So that's based off of every trade. The seller pays 10% transaction fee. Taxation is in Eureka correct. On top of that, though, with the liquidity pool, like we said earlier, it's 6%. So if you enter the liquidity pool, you pay 6%. It's like an entry fee, and then you receive 3% of that from every time somebody else enters. So that can in itself, that can stack up to be an awful lot. It also makes it a real incentive. It's a real initiative then for people to actually go and introduce and bring more people into it as well. The more people that you go, the more people that you bring into it, the more people that you're introducing through, then naturally the more and more money that there is coming into the liquidity pool to be shared, basically. So the way that it works, like we said, is with that 3% that's going to the liquidity pool holders, for example, that's going to them in IPX. So that 3%, that can be in Ethereum X, it can be in BTC X, USDT X, DAI, got like hundreds of different things. Basically, what the smart contract does is it uses all of them to buy back. It uses all of them to buy ERK. Then that ERK is then placed to buy IPX. 2 buy orders, which creates 2 sell orders. So that means 2 lots of burning. That IPX is bought. That IPX is then shared and divvied out to all of the holders there as well. So basically, it brings volume, it brings liquidity, it brings burning, which ultimately it brings value.
Okay.
Now that's cool. Doing that on multiple blockchains means that that's happening multiple times, here, there, and everywhere. So that's even cooler. Yeah. So yeah, that has the ability to burn a lot of IPX. A lot of IPX. The AMM in itself also pulls up the price.
Yeah.
Watch the video that Danny posted in the group because it is a brilliant video in explaining how it actually does that as well. To try and put that into words is quite hard, but if you watch that video, it's not that long, and it gives you a really, really, really good insight as to how that works.
All right. I think we do one more question, and then yeah, it'll be long enough, right? 1.5 hours. What's Oracle?
Yeah.
What is Oracle?
Right, good. Right, the Oracle is something, obviously, the Oracle's been built and well done. It's the only thing that I left off today because I thought they would probably confuse, but as we've been asked, the Oracle is it's basically a price finder. It's a data scraper almost. What it does is it finds and it chases the price, value, information about all assets. And what you can actually do with the Oracle is you can use the Oracle to create derivatives, and those derivatives can be anything, you know, McDonald's shares, Amazon shares, Microsoft shares, and you can actually have a derivative. So you could use, I mean, say for example, using IPX, you could have IPX, and what it does is it holds the price of IPX and it holds the price of the share. So at any given time, obviously you can get liquidated, or you can make, but vice versa, whether you're long or short. So what it does is it follows that price. So if IPX is $1 and this is $1, then it's like that. If IPX goes up in value, then it means that you could technically withdraw a little bit of that IPX and you'd still be holding the same amount of those shares. It's a good way, and it will be a good way, and it will be a tradable way as well, to actually be able to use more conventional markets, more conventional things from stock exchanges, etc., in the crypto space. And the Oracle allows that. Basically what it is like an automatic window, basically, that finds all of the prices and tracks and allows that to actually be coded into a smart contract as well.
All right, I think that answers the question. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have anything to add, Darren?
So, no, not overly, mate. I think we've gone through. I think we've answered questions. We've gone through a lot of the information and everything. Okay, I think over probably the next day or two, I think when we're ready, Mark, me and you, we can just do a short one and just actually show the. We'll go through and show the actual website.
Okay.
That will definitely be, I think, a good thing. Today's obviously been information overload, which is good. Gives some time for that to sink in anyway before everything starts. So over the next day or two, me and Mark we can do a video and actually show the website, and obviously I can go through everything from a technical perspective and actually show it, so that'll help. But yeah, other than that, just mega excited, really, mega pumped. All of our hard work over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 months really now is all starting to come to life. Like I said, it's been a hard slog, but now we're sort of, because we worked like a few months behind ourselves almost, if that makes sense. So now we're releasing something that started a few months ago, but that's not the only thing. We have work that's at 60% something else. We have work that's at 40% something else. So we have that coming info, obviously to be expected as well. So yeah, really, really excited, really, really pumped, really looking forward to the burning system. I mean, the burning system is just freaking astronomical. It's just never bloody ending, really. Really just pumped, just looking forward to everything, and just hoping that this gets through to people so that hopefully they can see it before it's too late, really. IPX, I think, only going one way, and I think it's about to start making its strides. So yeah, for me, just excitement. I'm buzzing. Other than that, I should leave it to you. And yeah, that's me.
Okay, thanks, Darren. Obviously, I'm very excited as well. Finally, we can have a new platform that that we all have been waiting for. And I will be making a presentation, an overview of all the different components that we're going to release, so it's a little bit clearer for everyone. And obviously, like Darren said, the next few days we will be doing another live, showing the actual website and explaining some more. So for me, I would like to thank you all for joining us here on this webinar. We had some technical problems in the beginning, sorry for that. But I hope all the information came across well. And hope to see you on the next live, which we will be announcing on the several Telegram groups and Facebook, Twitter, etc. So have a good night from me, and thank you all, and hope to see you on the next live.